This is Leigh Wood. We are weighing in.
Yes, weighing in with a lethal one, Leigh Wood. Good to see you, mate. How are you?
All good, mate. All good. Getting close now. Nearly 7 weeks out, so I'm excited. Looking forward to putting things right.
Redemption, revenge. Is that what's on your mind?
Yeah, something like that. You know, I don't feel like any spite or nastiness, but at the same time, you know, I want to come and look good. Got a job to do. Looking at the first fight, it's a hard watch for me. You know, did everything I need to do, game plan wise, and how I approached it, the little things. Just made a little mistake.
Leigh, the rematch between you and Mauriciolara was announced in the middle of the ring during Joshua Franklin. Now, before we talk about that fight, everyone's had their say on it. What was your opinion on AJ's performance?
He won. He won convincingly, I thought. If you look at Franklin against White, I was ringside for that, scoring it for 5 Live. Sorry. And yeah, not only had a hard night's job, like, he probably got beat, if anything. So if you look at Franklin against like that kind of opposition, you know, it's no Morgan. It's making him look quite poor, or they're not looking sparkling against him. So maybe that's not so much AJ, but any fight at that level, he's not going to have an easy night with him. In the same breath, I don't think his coach helped him too much. I don't think there's a game plan going into the fight, and that's probably what cost him to what looked like and not as good a performance as there's in the past.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was interesting, but I was happy for AJ to get the win. How happy were you that it was announced on that night in front of a packed out O2 Arena with thousands watching on DAZN, on the app, and also on TV for the first time?
It don't make any difference to me, you know, but yeah, it's good that the fight's going to get some good exposure, because it's a great fight. It's a hard fight for both of us. If you watch the first fight, you know what to expect for the second fight. So yeah, I'm glad that it's going to get the exposure it deserves. Don't make a difference to me. I just want to get in and fight.
Love that. Leigh, when did you decide you want to run it back? You want to trigger the rematch clause?
It was when the towel got thrown in. And let's be honest. Ben said, you know, I was upset. I was like, look, I was alright, but Ben's there to look after me. It was probably the right call on the night. I did get up too fast, and that's experience, you know. That's the second time I've ever been down in my life, either on fight night or in sparring. That's just 2 times. The first time I got up too fast, luckily the bell went. This time I got up too fast, and you know, Ben made the call. But literally, I looked and said, I'm alright. He's like, we've got the rematch clause, don't worry about it. Like, and then that kind of thought, like, I want to put this right straight away. There's never going to be any other option for me.
There was lots of obviously noise around the ring, obviously with the fans and everything. What was, when you went back into the changing room, what were the immediate conversations like with Ben, with the rest of the team, with Eddie when he came in?
You know, with Ben, I had to ask him, like, what mistake did I make? What did I do? And obviously showed him what I did. Don't even touch well, obviously, but I told him to go. I told him to throw, and got to the point where round 5 and 6 I was getting on top. I got that much on, it was getting that, not easy you could say, but I was starting to land some big shots in round 6, and I really took over. I just got a bit greedy, got a bit carried away, started holding my feet after telling him when to go with little triggers, and paid the price.
Do you think complacency crept in your mind? Do you think?
Not so much complacency, because I never get carried away with myself, like, I've got this in the bag. It wasn't so much that, it was more of like, he was breathing heavy, I was landing more and more shots. He started to be a bit undone, so I started to think he was ready to go before he was actually ready to go. So I started, like I said, holding my feet, triggered him to go, to try and bolt him down, and it was the wrong thing to do. I should have stuck to what I was supposed to be doing.
Obviously, you've triggered the rematch clause. The fight's been announced. Was there any kind of thinking about any other option, or was rematch the only option?
For me, no. For me, you know, it was just a rematch. There's loads of people, well, my promoter and also my coach. There was options. There's giving me options, but you know, I was so focused on, so hell bent on playing it right with the rematch. There's never any other option for me. I would have gone for anything to get it next. There's talks to Josh Warrington fighting him and me fighting the winner. But you never things like that. Like, you have to take things with a pinch of salt, because there would have been contracts to sign and stuff. But you never know what can happen. Belts can get passed about. Mandatories can get called. It's never safe.
Very true.
So, you know, I wanted to put it right. I wanted to make sure the belt's on the line, and to do that without 100% guarantees to do it next.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I can personally vouch for you. We was obviously in contact after the fight, and you did say more than anything, you want your belt back. Leigh, it's easy for people to jump on your bandwagon when you're winning, but you really see who's real and who's not when you lose. How much support have you had from your team, the general public, and the boys in the gym, like Shabazz, Royston, the McCormacks?
Yeah, you know, like, I've been beat in the past, and I've learned a lot from them defeats. Every time I've been beat, I've come back better, I've come back stronger, and I've come back with something that I've learned from that defeat. It's not gone in vain. Especially this time included, it's no different. Support from my own city, I didn't expect it, has been great. You know, it's full of love and support. Friends, family as well. Got a great family, massive friendship group. Yeah, but mainly the city. I didn't expect so many messages of people of support. You know, sometimes when you get beat in the fashion that I did, after we both said a lot of things in the build up, don't get it wrong, you get the odd message which is expected. You just tongue in cheek and you take it with a smile on your face. But you know, the majority, if not all the ones I read, was just messages of support, which is great to see. You know, I've got a lot of love in my own city, and going to go put this right, not just for myself but for them as well.
I mean, it's crazy, firstly, to have asked for the Lara fight straight after Fight of the Year with Mick Conlon, to getting injured, people saying you were running scared, to then having the fight, coming so close to winning, and then straight away again asking to do it again. Where does your confidence and self-belief come from?
I've always been a confident kid, I've always believed in myself. For me, like, boxing is like, I want to be the best in my division. I want to be the best, I want to fight the best, I want to beat the best. Anything else, like, if it's not real, I don't want it. If I'm just gonna fight and get manoeuvred into a position what makes me look better than I am, then I don't want it. I want to fight the best and I want to beat the best. And if I come up short, I tried. I don't want to be a fake champion, you know. Like I said, if it's not real, I don't want it. But like I said, I believe I am one of the best in the division, if not the best in the division. And I'm going to get proved it on May 27th. I'm going to get my belt back and push on to all the big fights.
Love that. Love that. Of course, you wouldn't have been happy with the result, but you must have watched it back. Were you happy with the performance itself?
Yeah, up until then, I felt like I took over. I did what I had to do. The fight started going exactly how we thought it would go. But that don't mean I'm going to approach the fight the same way the next time. And, you know, you can't win the same battle with the same approach. So, yeah, I mean, that fight that night pretty much went to a T, really, to what we thought it was going to go like. He responded how we thought he was going to respond. You know, we've got a few alterations to make, a few things we need to change. But I'm confident in getting the win and confident in not making any silly mistakes.
How difficult was it not to engage when you started picking your shots? Now, obviously, everybody knows Leigh Wood's got the power. You know it. How difficult was it to not engage with him?
Yeah, there was ways to go about it, and I did them things correctly. I didn't get carried away and just throwing hell for leather. Every time I landed in that, even in that sixth round, there was purpose behind it. There was a setup behind it. But I went away from certain setups and started taking more chances because I thought he was tired. I thought he was feeding, and he was feeding. But you know, he kind of like saved a little bit. That might have been his last hurrah, just to try and bolt down and throw hell for leather. And fair play to him, taking nothing away from him. You know, he landed the shot which won him the fight, and that serves as a lesson for me for the next fight, to be that little bit more switched on and cautious that, you know, whether it's round 1 or round 12, you know, he's got that gunpowder the same as myself to finish a fight at any time, if he give him the chance to.
Did you feel like you had him hurt at any point during the fight?
Yeah, for sure.
Now that you've been in the ring with him, what's your honest assessment of Mauriciolara? Is he as good as people say? Does he hit as hard as it looks?
He's a good fighter and he's a worthy champion. He deserves to be there. It's hard for me because all week I was doing drills with Ben and I was defending. He was whacking my arms, and I was thinking, Ben's a lot bigger than me. He was putting a lot of shots in, you know. So my arms were like bruising up. I was catching him, and then once I got in there on fight night, there's times when I tucked up to defend, and I didn't really feel any devastating power. But what he has got is speed. You know, he's fast on the counters. He's fast to react when a slip counter with the shot they caught him as well. You know, he is fast. But blocking on my guard is not like, it's a different power to myself. You know, I'm more of a thudding power. The weight behind my shots, he's more of a fast, sharp snap. But like I said, credit to him. He deserves to be there.
As soon as the result was announced, we saw Lara go over and spit on Josh Warrington. What did you make of all that?
It's disgusting. There's no room for that in boxing. I think he's apologising that now, but you know, you can't be doing stuff like that. There's no room for that.
Do you know, based on that incident itself, did any part of you want to allow Josh to fight him next?
No.
You still thought about yourself?
Yeah. No, maybe he did it to build that fight, to make that fight more appealing, because they've already fought twice, and the first one was quite conclusive. The second one ended with a cut, so no one got the chance to see it. But does people want to see that for a third time? I'm not sure. Maybe that was part of trying to make that fight a little bit bigger. Maybe he thought if you're doing that, would lean towards that fight, so you have to fight me again. I don't know. He had a lot easier night with Josh than he did me. I don't know. These are questions you need to ask him, I guess, really.
That's a very interesting way of looking at it. Leigh, as we know, it's been announced the fight will take place in Manchester at the AO Arena. We had no problems, me and Auntie Sue, in selling all allocated tickets in Nottingham. Are you confident the Red Army will sell out the AO Arena? Yeah,
so that's a good question. From tickets going on sale, our tickets going on sale the last few days without public release, we've hit some big numbers already. We're expecting to take probably 90% of what we sell in Nottingham up to Manchester, which is crazy.
Wow.
I didn't expect it. So yeah, massive thank you to everyone coming to Manchester. You won't be disappointed. So please make some noise.
Love that. You said in the press release following the announcement, you went to outbox Lara in the first fight, but this time you're on smoke. You're going to fight fire with fire. You're going to knock him out. Is that smoke and mirrors, or is that really what you're on?
Yeah, you know, we can both punch. So it's probably going to be a bit of a shootout early on, you know, whoever lands first, pretty much. You know, I'm not going to mess about trying to outbox him over 12 rounds when, you know, we can both punch. Let's have it.
And on the same night, you fight Lara. Nick Condon has his second shot at a world title against the man who beat Warrington, Luis Alberto Lopez. They're both very good strikers, very both elusive. How do you see that fight going?
Obviously, they both got the attributes. I think Mick is more well schooled. He's harder to nail, and if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to approach that fight, and you give him plenty of time, Mick's dangerous, and he'll box straight off all night. Just point out there as a prediction, I think Mick will win off once.
Fair enough. And obviously, you have full focus on May 27th. But beyond that, do you know what you want? Would you want to unify against Mick if he wins his title at City Ground? Title for title at City Ground, I mean, that would be amazing, that would be massive. Do you want another away day at Ellen Road against Josh Warrington, or do you want to fight whoever steps up and steps forward at the City Ground?
You know, I don't want to predict or lay out my path, because obviously this fight is so, like, it's extremely important to me. This fight is all that's on my brain at the minute. Putting this right, and I'm working my ass off to do it as well. So after that, you know, we'll have another conversation after that, because honestly I can't even look past this. I'm not even thinking past this, because everything I've got, every drop of my energy is on this fight.
Yeah, man, 100% tunnel vision. But Leigh, it's late in the day. I don't know if anybody can see behind anywhere, but it's dark. But I just want to thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you haven't done any of the interviews, so this is an exclusive. And as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for weighing in.
Thanks a lot, mate, and I'll see you May 27th. Get the belt back.
Let's go.